Swingers Guide studies examined phycological and behavioral effects of non-monogamous lifestyle.
Okay, so I'm going to go over some numbers, and I generally don't have my glasses on, but I have reading glasses, so I'm going to go over some numbers, and it's about the psychological and behavioral effects of consensual non-monogamy. It's not about cheating or any of those things. And some of the numbers I really question. One, I question the numbers because this study seems a little prone towards anti-non-monogamy. And they do just sort of hit it straight on. And I want to go through what I think too. Now, I'm not a professional. I'm not a health professional, mental health professional. I'm not a lawyer. None of those things. And this is just an opinion. But I'm going to go through these numbers real quick and kind of say, well, wait a minute. Let's look at the real studies. I find that a lot in studies. You see a study that can prove anything, and then you look at the study and you really figure out it's been skewed, been pushed one way or the other. So let's look at this one. So the first one is, and this is kind of funny because you got to really think about this one. It says 37.5% of respondents, these are those in a CNM, which is consensual non-monogamy. So 37.5 of these people that responded that were in this lifestyle admitted to heavy drinking and drug use. Okay, so against the general public, heavy drinking and drug use. 37%, is that low or high? I'll put the numbers, so you know, but the funny part is that this was done in 2019 in the middle of COVID. So people are stuck at home, have no social aspects, and a lot of people overdrank, and a lot of people overate, and a lot of people did legal or non-legal drugs, and that's just what happened during that time. So it's kind of a time-related study. 3.04% of participants involved in open relationships reported having loneliness, as opposed to what would be normal, and I'll put the numbers in, but think about that. That's pretty low, even in any lifestyle, to have only 3% loneliness. And maybe they should try not going to clubs, but meeting couples individually and making friends, and then they wouldn't be lonely. So that's the style of non-monogamy they have. Not really a statement about the activity itself. So psychological distress came from another negative implication that affected 2.7 of the individuals. Again, during COVID, a lot of people were messed up. They said 20% were having emotional problems, maybe 25%. So again, the time period, that's really kind of normal people. 37, and I would say to that okay, so there are certain emotional things that really should happen for you to be in a successful swinging lifestyle. Those emotional things are hard to deal with, and some things bring up things of your past or whatever, but those emotional things can cause distress, and that's totally normal. But you normally have a mate that sits there and understands and helps you work through them, and once you're through those, you're psychologically better off. So there's not really any indication whether psychologically swinging or consensual non-monogamy helps you, other than you don't have to be a lying cheat to your spouse. You have an open communication, hopefully, with your spouse, so that helps. 67.7% of the respondents said they engaged in unprotected sex 2 months prior to the study, prior to participating in the study. Now, this is a very small group, but I have a question about this, and you can think about it yourself. So you have a man and a woman go to a bar. They're married to other people. They go to a bar. They hook up. He's there for work, and she's there for work, and they hook up, and they go in a motel room, and they have sex, wild sex, drunk sex. Or you have two couples who meet. You have one couple who meets another couple, and they have sex, and they weigh out whether they're going to use condoms and other things and other fluids and stuff to lower the chance of STDs. Who do you think would have a less chance of STDs? You have these numbers, and then you think to yourself, 37% have STDs or claim to in this group, but who do you think would actually have lower STDs than the general public? It would be a professional person at sex, not somebody who's an amateur.